I am wondering how you're thinking about what you can put in a monologue, what it's like being on an FCC licensed avenue of broadcasting right now.
Our show's never really been that political, you know. We hit both sides equally. We're just trying to make the best show we possibly can and entertain everybody.
We're trying to make the best show we possibly can, and we are trying to entertain everybody. What a novel concept. What a brilliant strategy for someone hosting a late night comedy show. Now, Uncle KC has never hosted a late night show, so I am not an expert. And unlike the analyst at the worldwide leader in woke ESPN, unlike analysts like Mo McDougal or Mina Kimes who pretend to be experts, Uncle KC has never been a pretender. Uncle KC does not live in a world of make-believe. So I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and claim to be an expert in late-night television. But I would imagine that it is difficult to draw and maintain an audience when you're alienating over half the country. I would imagine it's hard to keep your job. It's hard to maintain your supply of woke welfare when you're constantly displaying symptoms of stage 4 OMB. Organ bad! I would imagine that it's hard to maintain interest when a grown man like Jim Kimmel is unhealthily obsessed with another dude. So maybe Jim Fallon is onto something here. I know Jim Fallon has never been mistaken for someone smart like, I don't know, a high school graduate, but I think he has stumbled onto something brilliant with his new strategy for late night. We are trying to entertain everybody. The question is, does he mean it? It's not hard to figure out why Jim Fallon is implementing this new strategy. The trio of huge embarrassing failures in late night television, it's about to be an uno huge embarrassing failure. Stevie Colbert, fired. Jim Kimmel, fired. Well, KC, that's simply not true. ABC just put Jim back on TV. They've got his back. Jim Kimmel will be a bigger star than the moon. Yet, Jim Kimmel is back on TV. For now. But that's only because ABC is responding to the backlash. A couple of weeks ago, when ABC poured water on this flaming ass fire, almost 2 million wanker spankers canceled their subscriptions to Disney+. They were willing to sacrifice their on-demand access to Ren and Stimpy. There would be no more lonely Friday nights watching the non-binary mermaid. It used to be called the Little Mermaid, but now that Ariel is identifying as Alan, this sexy mermaid is huge! Nearly 2 million spankers were willing to consume their cartoons elsewhere, hoping their protest would be enough to get Jim Kimmel his job back. And it worked, temporarily. Jim Kimmel is back on ABC for now, but as soon as his contract expires next year, Jim Kimmel will be joining his bestie Stevie in the unemployment line. Obviously, Jim Fallon doesn't want to join the duo of unemployed failures. He wants to keep his job as host of The Tonight Show. The Tonight Show is for everyone! According to Jim Fallon, The Tonight Show is politically balanced, always has been, which could not be further from the truth. But maybe Jim Fallon is committing to be politically balanced going forward. The question is, will it work? Will it be enough to save his job? Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. One of my channel members reached out to me a couple of weeks ago, thanked me for linking him up with Sugar Mountain Trading. He woke up one Friday morning with back pain, had to drive several hours that day to a friend's wedding. He applied some CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain. 15 minutes later, back pain magically gone. My wife also deals with nagging back pain from time to time. We've tried over-the-counter stuff, we've tried the chiropractor, but none of that ever seems to work. Within 5-10 minutes of me applying CBD lotions and oils from Sugar Mountain Trading, my wife's pain is gone. I'm telling you, it's damn near magical. My wife keeps a bottle in her purse at all times. Sugar Mountain Trading also offers CBD bar soap that will keep you pain-free and smelling fresh at the same time. Bar soap comes in a variety of scents ranging from lavender all the way to cherry almond. More importantly, all CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading, 100% natural, 100% free of THC. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL20, BTL20. Save 20% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. According to Jim Fallon, The Tonight Show has always been politically balanced. According to MRC Newsbusters, Jim Fallon is full of shit. Since 2023, 70% of his jokes have been aimed at conservatives. While that is definitely an improvement when compared to Jim Kimmel, where 100% of his material is about a dude with a spray tan, Jim Fallon having 70% of his jokes about normal people, that's not what I would call balanced. Now, that being said, there is a huge difference between Jim Fallon and Jim Kimmel. For starters, Jim Fallon actually makes jokes, whereas Jim Kimmel's monologues are hate-filled letters to the object of his obsession. Jim Kimmel is like a scorned lover. He's bitter. He's angry because the Trumper doesn't give him the attention that he desires. The point is, even though Jim Fallon is not politically balanced, The Tonight Show, their approach is more lighthearted. During his monologue every night, he's not expressing his venomous hatred of Donald Trump. Me personally, I think NBC pressured Jimmy Fallon to be more political. When he took over The Tonight Show from Jay Leno, Jim Fallon was actually entertaining. He would do skits like The History of Rap with Justin Timberlake, had another skit with Justin Timberlake called Camp Whatever the Fuck, where they pretended to be prepubescent boys at summer camp. There was a segment called Ew, where Jim Fallon was a teenage girl hosting a show online. The dorky dad would come down the stairs to embarrass his masculine daughter. Hey there, kids, it's me, Dorky Daddy. Let's have a hoedown. If it hadn't been for Cotton Eye Joe, I'd been married to my horse Mo. For years, The Tonight Show with Jim Fallon was entertaining. As a result, Jim Fallon was the #1 show in late-night television. Back in 2014, his audience was bigger than Jim Kimmel and Stephen Colbert's combined. But 4 or 5, maybe 6 years ago, I think NBC started pressuring Jimmy Fallon to be more political. They saw it working for Stephen Colbert and Jim Kimmel, so they pressured Jimmy Fallon to do the same. The problem is, Jimmy Fallon has never been a political dude. He wasn't comfortable with it. And when you're not comfortable with something, it shows on camera. The audience can sense it. According to Jim Fallon, he's going back to being less political. Translation: The Tonight Show will be offering something different. He will be the only host in late night that's not obsessed with the Trumper. If that's the case, if Jim Fallon follows through with this promise, I think this could be his opportunity to become the king of late night. But KC, Greg Gutfeld is the king of late night. Yeah, that's definitely true. Jim Fallon has no chance of competing with Greg Gutfeld, but if he does become less political or more politically balanced, he can be the knight or the bishop. He damn sure won't be the pawns like Jim Kimmel and Stevie Colbert. Think about it. Stevie Colbert is fired. Jim Kimmel, soon to be fired. As of right now, they are the top two shows in late night not named Greg Gutfeld. If both of those shows are losing millions of dollars, then you know the Tonight Show is struggling financially. Hell, the Tonight Show's not losing money because they've never found it. This is Jim Fallon's chance to be different. Stevie and the less talented Jim, they can split the dwindling woke audience, and Jimmy Fallon can capture the audience of normal people who want to be entertained. But here's the thing. If Jimmy Fallon is going to do this, if he's going to refuse to be political or at least be more politically balanced, he needs to do it now. He needs to start building his audience now, because next year, he could have real competition from ABC. Here's what I think is going to happen. ABC is going to fire Jim Kimmel because he's completely useless. In the last couple of weeks, he ruined his opportunity to appeal to normal people. Jim Kimmel lost 70% of the audience, and his ratings will continue circling the pooper until ABC finally decides to flush him. But I don't think Disney is getting out of the business of late night television. You know what I think they're going to do? I think ABC is going to give Jim Kimmel's show to Stephen A. Smith. If you're Jim Fallon and NBC, that would be real competition. Disney already has Stephen A. Smith under contract. They're already paying him $20 million a year. If you have followed the career of Stephen A. Smith, you know it is his lifelong dream to host a late night show. Matter of fact, it's one of the only aspirations that Stephen A. has yet to achieve. Unlike Jim Kimmel, Stephen A. Smith would be politically balanced. He would be willing to go after everyone and be unapologetic while doing it. So if you're Jim Fallon, the time is now. This is the perfect opportunity to rebuild your audience. This is the perfect opportunity to capture normal people. Because Stevie Colbert and Jim Kimmel, they are committed to splitting the dwindling audience of lonely men. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys tomorrow.